Welcome back to the Will Rickard Show. We just discussed a little bit about the big news in Philadelphia today. Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best. As Ryan Sandberg stepped down as Phillies manager today. And by the way, the Phillies lost 5-2 to the Nationals. Scherzer had a perfect game going into the sixth and was broken up by Freddie Galvis. Revere hit a pinch hit 2-run homer. And the Phillies lost. And I talked about how it's really not his Sandberg's fault, but he has in recent weeks made some questionable moves, like moving Franco to first base in New York last week, or earlier this week, exactly when they played the Yankees. They keep messing with Darren Ruff. They bring him up, send him back down. They don't know what to do with him. They haven't really given him a fair shake, in my opinion. How they handled Cody Ashley this year. Had him play third base to start the season. Then in the middle of the season, they sent him back down to Lehigh Valley and learned to play left field and brought Franco up. They could have done this in spring training. It's just moves like this by Amaro that Amaro needs to be fired ASAP because he's just ruined his franchise. So we'll see. Now we'll go to another franchise that's in disarray, and that's the Philadelphia 76ers. NBA draft was yesterday. A lot of people had the Sixers getting D'Angelo Russell with the third pick, but the Lakers took D'Angelo Russell after Karl-Anthony Towns went number 1 to Minnesota. So then the Sixers went with the best available player, and that was Jahlil Okafor. Now, center. Now you may want to question why did they do that when they have Nerlens Noel, Joel Embiid. Well, Joel Embiid's status is up in the air as he had a setback on his rehab. He's coming off an injury that he got hurt during the season at Kansas that he couldn't play in the NCAA tournament. That was 2014. He missed all this year rehabbing. Was doing very well, and earlier this week, they said had a setback, so they're waiting to see what that's about. So that's a good move. That's a good move in getting Okafor. But you can also say Sixers need a point guard, and all right, they get that. They have 5 picks in the second round, and they didn't take a point guard. They didn't even take a guard in the second round at all. They had the 5th pick in the second round. They took Guillermo Hernangomez, center from Spain. 2 picks later, they take Rashawn Holmes from power forward Bowling Green. At pick 17, they took Arturas Gudatis from center from Lithuania. Who's that? 28th pick, they took J.P. Tucano, small forward from Carolina. That's a good pick. He's limited offensively, but that man's got hops, and he can throw down with anybody. And if they can get his outside, that's a good pick at 28. Then they take another small forward at the 30th, Luka Mitrovic from Serbia. Who's that? Need a point guard. And I see Tokudo maybe staying, making the club. But the other 4 guys, the Rashawn Holmes, I didn't hear of them in Bowling Green. This is what basketball insiders and Sixers fans don't get. Who are these guys, and why you drafted all kinds of centers and power forward when you need a point guard? You got Nerlens Noel, and you probably got Okafor, and if Embiid is healthy, you got a good good backcourt. You need to work on the front court. You need to get some playmakers. And they didn't do that in the draft. So to me, they get a D or an F. With the only good pick being Jahlil Okafor. Kings at number 6 took Cauley Stein from Kentucky. That's a good pick. Nuggets got Emmanuel Mudiay from China. He was a kid that was committed to SMU and didn't go. And Justice Winslow went to the Heat at number 10. Notable pick. That's a good pickup. Number 9, Hornets got Frank Kaminsky from Wisconsin, and that was a good pick. So there's your rundown on the Sixers. They just scratched my head. So to me, out of the 6 picks they had, 2 were good. While the other, 4 of them are head scratchers. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. World Cup, USA wins 1-0 on goal by Carly Lloyd in the second half. They missed a wide open right off in the first minute of the game. Wide open net and missed it wide left. They totally outplayed China. The young team, they controlled tempo and pace the whole game. So they move on to play Germany Tuesday in Montreal in the semifinal of the World Cup. And I want to give you some Penn State news this week. They hired Jim Haslett. He's a former defensive coordinator of the Redskins. They hired him as a consultant, and he will be helping offense, defense, and special teams. That's a good hire. That counteracts Jim Harbaugh bringing in his NFL buddies. Have no problem with that. Just yesterday, they picked up 4-star recruit Ellison Jordan, D tackle from Baltimore, Maryland. And that's on top of this week. They got Michael Dunfor from New Jersey and Christian Colon. Both those guys are D tackles. And then last week, they got the number 4 punter in the country who will be a senior this year in Blake Gillikin. And they are also in the running for kicker, the Norden. His last name's Norden, and he's debating with Penn State and Michigan for a kicker. But I think Joe Julius will be the kicker for Penn State, place kicker this year. Kid's got a boom of a leg, can flat out boom it out of the stadium. Kid from Lower Dauphin. He's just. I think he's going to be phenomenal at Penn State. I think Franklin likes him. I haven't heard a bad thing about him. So it is what it is. So we're going to take another break here. And then when we come back, I'm going to talk about the missions trip I was just recently on. Phenomenal. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. So, we'll do that when we come back. This is the Little Rocket Show, Little Rocket Network. Thanks for joining me tonight. See you in a couple minutes.